You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts. But you don't listen anyway.
Send in the clowns. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Joker moments. For this list, we're taking a look at the most memorable moments from Todd Phillips' 2019 Joker origin story. If you haven't seen the film yet, consider this your spoiler alert. Number 10, Dancing on Stairs. Joker is full of imagery that's bound to become iconic. Although perhaps the most recognizable still from the film is Arthur Fleck standing in an elevator, decked out with clown makeup, green hair, and a snazzy suit. Arthur is eager to show off his new look to the world. So much so that he gleefully dances down a lengthy flight of stairs outside. Arthur's dance almost has a Charlie Chaplin quality to it. That is to say, if Chaplin had played a homicidal clown instead of a little tramp. Overwhelmed with confidence and a manic sense of invincibility, Arthur feels like the only person on the planet in this moment. By the end of the day, though, everybody in Gotham will know the name Joker. Number 9, Revenge on Randall. Getting ready for Joker's big debut, Arthur is paid a visit by two of his former co-workers, Randall and Gary.
What's with the makeup then?
My mom died. Celebrating.
Whereas Gary has always been genuinely concerned about Arthur's well-being, Randall's only concerned about covering his tracks after lending him a gun. Although we suspected Arthur would go haywire on him eventually, it still comes as a complete shock when he paints his walls red with Randall's skull.
Why would you do that, Arthur?
This may be the ghastliest moment in the entire film, which is saying something. Yet it also finds Arthur at his most compassionate, as he allows the horrified Gary to go unharmed. The scene fittingly ends with some insanely dark humor when Gary can't reach the doorknob, forcing him to ask Arthur for help.
Hey, Arthur.
Yeah.
Arthur, can you get a look?
Sorry, Gary.
Number 8, Murray mocks Arthur.
I'm gonna be a comedian.
In a life plagued with negative thoughts, the only source of joy for Arthur is watching Live with Rupert Pupkin. We mean Murray Franklin. Actually, taking a direct page from Robert De Niro's character in The King of Comedy, Arthur imagines being on Murray's show where he's cherished like his son.
You see all this, the lights, the show, the audience, all that stuff. I'd give it all up in a heartbeat to have a kid like you.
Arthur gets his wish, although it's not at all how he initially imagined it. Murray comes across some footage of Arthur's failed stand-up act, sharing it on his show. Arthur is ecstatic at first, but his smile quickly dissolves into a frown when Murray turns him into the butt of the joke.
It's funny. When I was a little boy and told people I was gonna be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
Being insulted by his idol is a major tipping point for Arthur, who is now determined to get the last laugh.
Got a great show for you tonight. Chuck Conby is here, actress Joanne Mulligan, and new music from Mel Rubin and the Sniffs.
Number 7, Train Riot. Gotham originated from the comics, but Phillips' portrait of the city is an unnerving reflection of today's world. A key example is when Arthur is pursued by detectives Burke and Garrity.
Hey, Arthur! We need to talk! Hey! Stop, Arthur!
The chase takes them aboard a train filled with protesters wearing clown masks. This naturally allows Arthur to blend into the crowd, adding to the frustration of the detectives. An already intense set piece is turned nightmarish when one protester is accidentally shot, causing the mob to overpower the police. In an age where riots, gun violence, and the use of deadly force by cops regularly make headlines, this sequence felt all too real. As horrific as this sight is, Arthur slips away without a care in the world. 6. My Life is a Comedy. When Arthur isn't trying to make people smile, he's taking care of his aging mother. Penny Fleck is one of the only people in Arthur's life that matters to him. Arthur's world is thus turned upside down when he finds out that his mother may have been lying about who his father is. Arthur's identity only becomes more warped when he learns that Penny may not actually be his real mother.
I never heard him cry. He's always been such a happy little boy.
Whatever the truth is, Arthur walks away with an epiphany. His life isn't a tragedy, but one big fat joke. Penny becomes the punchline in this so-called comedy as Arthur takes a pillow to her.
I used to think that my life was a tragedy. But now I realize it's a fucking comedy.
The Joker has taken numerous lives across various media, although few instances have felt this personal, grounded, or cruel. Number 5. Arthur meets Bruce Wayne. We've seen the Joker meet Bruce Wayne before, but never quite like this. As polar opposite as they may be, the Joker represents Batman's greatest fear, the idea that Bruce could have become a vengeful killer in another world. This notion is made even more poignant in Joker, where we learn that Bruce and Arthur might share the same father.
We went over this, Penny. You adopted him. We have all the paperwork right here.
Sporting a red clown nose and armed with flowers, Arthur pays his possible half-brother a visit in a scene that takes stranger danger to uncomfortable new levels. Matters become especially nerve-wracking when Arthur forces a smile on the boy's face, leaving us to wonder if he'll kill Bruce before he has a chance to become Batman. Fortunately, Alfred intervenes, although he's nearly scarred in the process.
Thomas Wayne is my father. He left me!
Number 4. Who's laughing now? All it takes is one bad day. That's one of the Joker's most famous quotes, and while it's never said here, the line nonetheless echoes throughout the film.
If you don't return the sign, I gotta take it out of your paycheck. Are we clear?
Arthur's life has been nothing but bad days, but a particularly awful one finds him unemployed. He's pushed to the edge of sanity on a subway as 3 Wayne Enterprises employees harass a woman. The cackling Arthur becomes their new target, but the tables are turned when the clown kills 2 of them in self-defense. Arthur tracks down and shoots the 3rd in cold blood before retreating to a bathroom. Joaquin Phoenix's improvised dance moves, accompanied by Hildur Guðnadóttir's haunting musical score, make for a chillingly disturbed moment as Arthur takes his first step towards becoming the Joker. Number 3. You wouldn't get it. It only makes sense that a film clouded in ambiguity would build to a final scene that invites endless analysis. During a session with his psychiatrist, Arthur thinks about the Wayne family's fate and laughs.
Think of a joke.
Arthur says that his doctor wouldn't get the joke before we cut to him walking down the halls of Arkham, leaving behind a trail of red footprints.
You want to tell it to me?
You wouldn't get it.
The answer behind Arthur's laughter remains one of the film's biggest mysteries. Maybe Arthur found it funny that little Bruce is now every bit as alone as he is. Maybe Arthur fantasized about Bruce growing up to become a vigilante who does battle with the Joker. In any case, Phillips says that this is Arthur's, quote, only genuine laugh in the movie.
I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die.
Number 2. Introduce me as Joker. After Murray introduces Joker, Arthur dances his way onto the stage for an interview that escalates from awkward to downright painful.
When we spoke earlier, you mentioned that this look is not a political statement. Is that right?
That's right, Murray. I'm not political. I'm just trying to make people laugh.
And how's that going for you?
Arthur seems like a source for cheap laughs until he actually starts telling jokes. Of course, what Arthur considers a joke is so depraved it couldn't even be classified as shock humor.
It's the police, ma'am. Your son's been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead.
Nobody's laughing when Arthur admits to his heinous crimes on the air, which he writes off as comedy.
Well, let me get this straight. You think that killing those guys is funny?
I do. And I'm tired of pretending it's not.
Arthur paints himself as the victim in all of this before taking out his gun and adding Murray to his list of victims. This alarming sequence is reminiscent of the Joker's interview with Dave Endocrine in The Dark Knight Returns.
Do guests get to keep these?
Sure, you do whatever you want with it. We got a closet full of them.
Whereas that remained rooted in comic lore, though, this scene strives for brutal realism. Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh my God. What are you doing in here? You're in the wrong apartment.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Darkest Night. Riding through the rioting streets of Gotham in the back of a cop car, Arthur marvels at the destruction he's inadvertently started. When the vehicle is crashed into and Arthur is pulled from the wreckage, he decides to embrace his newfound status as a symbol with his followers cheering him on. While the Joker accepts his place in this crazy world, Batman is born, as Thomas and Martha are gunned down in an alley by one of the masked rioters. Bruce is left orphaned, ingeniously linking his origin story to the Clown Prince of Crimes. Arthur may be different from some past incarnations of the titular character, but watching him dance atop a police vehicle with a blood-smeared smile across his face is pure Joker. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.